What's up, guys? Matty Ice here. Yes, I'm back. Been a little bit absent, but with school and everything done, the summer semester, and all my continuing education and everything else is done, we are gonna be doing some more videos. And today, I got an old friend behind us, and guess what? Needs a new battery. So let's see if we can do something weird. So here we are with the Bronco. Yep, back at it again with those Bronco videos. You guys really like these videos, and I like doing them, but the problem is I've had this thing since 2017, and it's been a stud. It worked really well. This battery has been a great performer, and I have never replaced it. Not once. I've trickle charged it through winters, and last year I kind of noticed it was getting a little on the weak side. So I figured I was going to have to replace it eventually. It's been like 5, 6, 7, it's been like 8 years. This battery, far outlasted what it was supposed to. Most of these little lead acid batteries, about 6 to 7 years is common, so getting 8 out of this was phenomenal. It's a decent little battery. We'll give you guys a little close-up of that info in case you guys want to pause and look it up. And there's always someone who's going to want a close-up of the battery info, but here it is. Part number 725-1704A if you do want to buy the original replacement. And in case you're curious, it's 150 crank amps, cold cranking amps I should say. So there you go, lead acid 12 volt battery. My initial solution to my problem of starting this tractor had been, well, I'm gonna have to get a new battery, but at the time I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. I thought to myself, maybe we'll just get another one of these, but I went and looked, and the original part, when I found it, was like $100. And I'm like, this is a freaking lawnmower battery. You gotta be kidding me. So I figured maybe I'll just go with an off-brand one, because MTD makes batteries. There's batteries everywhere. These were anywhere from like $69 to, $90. So I guess, it's the sign of the times. So my solution had been to take my little Astrovi jump pack that I got off Amazon or Astro 4 or whatever. I don't know what the name is. If you guys want a video on this, let me know. It's one of these little battery lithium-ion jump packs that comes with cables. This thing is awesome. It works so well. But honestly, what I would do is hook it up to the battery like so, and then what I like is it tells you that you got everything on correctly if you're hooked up correctly, so that's nice. And then after that, you can hit the boost button if you want to. But you get your key and then you try and start it. But as you see, guys, that's that's fine. And this little booster pack has more than enough juice to do this a couple times. It's not like I have to charge this every week, but that's not ideal. Now, to replace this, I've got this package from Amazon. As you might notice, I'm able to easily lift this around with one hand. That's because this is not a lead acid battery. This is one of those new, I think it's some type of sealed, I think gel acid battery or something of that nature. For the first time with you guys. But I tried to get something that was in the similar cold crank range, because it's still a 12 volt system. That's not going to change. But it comes with a nice little manual. Tells you how to install it, and it's got apparently a little monitor on it. So the thing is, though, it's going to be much smaller than this lead acid battery. So let's pop her out. Oh my goodness, I was not anticipating it being this small. Guys, look at how small this is. Those are my hands. I mean, this battery's bigger than my hands, and it's a lot bigger. We might have to do some, put a wood block in there, something to hold it up, but here it is. It's got its little terminals covered and nicely. They've got some dielectric grease or something on there. And then, yeah, it just says AGM maintenance free battery. And your little controller is going to be up here, but man, this thing is tiny. Okay, so you guys might be able to tell there's a little bit of a difference between these batteries. This lead acid, about 6 inches tall, whereas the U Plus, only about 4. I think this one's 5 inches long, it's about 4 inches, so it's not going to fit in that cradle. The little cradle is going to be a problem. So my thoughts were, we either modify the bracket somehow, buy a shorter bracket, because it's about 2 some inches, not exact. It's off, so going to be a little bit of a problem. We don't want it bouncing around in there, because as you can see, these are just loose brackets. There's nothing hanging those in there. There's no real cage. It's just kind of sits on there and uses the tension from this crossbar. Okay, so my solution ended up being, I had some scrap 3-inch board in the backyard. I don't have any 2x4 right now for some reason, and I literally sawed it up a little bit, 1-inch depth, and then chiseled it out roughly. And this is not perfect because I didn't know if it was going to work or not, but setting that in there, and we are pretty close. It's driveway's a little bit off, but it's like 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch on one spot because of that little high point. But with this, it was just enough to make that bracket actually super tight. I mean, it sits on there really nicely, and what I think I might do is actually run a zip tie on it too, and then keep it in place. Now, a lot of you might frown at using zip ties in here, but honestly, that's what they use to secure like the gas tank, so I think it's going to be fine. And who knows if this little battery's going to work. It is the same cranking amps. It's 150 cranking amps, so let's hope it's sufficient to run this. And we're going to install it real quick, slide the block in first, and then put the battery on it. And then after we secure the wood block with some zip ties, we'll see what it looks like. Alright guys, so I was hemming and hawing how to get these zip ties on here, and I toyed with the idea of maybe even using like just a little freaking cable to hold it down, but I was like, let's see how far off we are. And I put it in and I was like, dang, that looks kind of close. Yeah, forget that tab that just fell off. We'll put that back on for safety's sake at the moment. And then I was like, let's see how far this bar needs to go to actually click on here. And I pulled it over and it actually fits. I can't believe it. Look at that. I mean, I'm pulling on this thing and it's moving a tiny bit, but guys, I'm actually shocked at how close I was with just a rough cut. So, I mean, it's not like this thing's gonna pop off. This is under a tremendous amount of tension, and like I said, I'm pulling it and it's not going anywhere. So, yeah, the battery has a tiny little bit of play in it, but I figured if it gets bad and it looks like it's moving, what we'll do is take some maybe duct tape or electrical tape, and we can wrap around it, or maybe go back to exploring doing some type of zip tie or something. But now we're gonna hook up the battery. Alright guys, well, you can see here, this is the installed battery. I'll try and get you guys a little bit closer. There you go. You might notice I've got one type of bolt over here, and I've got the bolts that came with the box right here. Well, these bolts are very easy to put in. You've got literally, let's see if I can focus on my hand now. See, it's just a Phillips tip, like a number 2. Pretty standard size, and then they come with a square nut. Square nut fits right into here, and then you just feed them in. You can do a top mount, so you can go in through the top if you have clearance with your terminals. These ones were too big to go in, or you can go in from the side. Somehow, between the stairs, which are about 7 or 8 feet away, and here, I lost the second square nut. So I looked all over. I have no idea what I did with it. I dropped it somehow, and I checked in here. I pulled out dead grass, and I got out my magnet, but I cannot find it. So I went with the original screws up here. I ran it through and put the bolt, or the nut, sorry, on this side, and then connected them. Kind of a challenge because we don't have a ton of clearance. As you can see, I literally had to put the nut in here and then feed the bolt through and put that on. And is it in there? Yes. And my little cap doesn't really do too much right now. I can kind of do this, and it's a bit of an awkward angle. It would have been much better side mounted like the other one. But yeah, me being me, I lost the one thing I did not want to really lose. But still, good connection there. Not moving around, so I guess all that's left to do is start it up and see if this thing catches on fire, or if the battery truly has 150 cold crank amps. So, all right guys, back outside, and we're gonna see if it starts. I don't want to sit on it yet in case there's a explosion or fire. At least if I'm not directly sitting on it, hopefully it won't be an issue. I still got plenty of gas, so it's always a good idea to do. It is always a good idea to do this stuff outside. So if there is a fire, don't burn your house down or your garage down. because y'all know that's something that could happen. Alright, in 3, 2, 1, go. Guys, that worked amazing. There's nothing smoking. It started right up. I mean, that was better than when I even had the lead acid, because that usually, you know, would take a while. But let's try it one more time and make sure. Let's go into accessory mode. Guys, it is working astounding. I am shocked. Guys, I'm seriously shocked that that worked that well. This little gel sealed battery was only $27.99 on Amazon. Whereas I told you in the beginning, you know, the lead acid equivalent, if I was buying OEM, it was $100, not a little bit more, and then you had to get it shipped. You also have other options that I found for like $69, $79, $89, which, you know, they only last about 5 years. I got really lucky on the first one, and it lasted, what, 7 or 8 years? And this little thing, though, I think it said the lifespan's about 3 to 5 years. So maybe on the short end, it's only going to last 3 years. I do plan to, I don't know if you can trickle charge these. I'm going to have to research that and see if you can, you know, maintain them during the winter, or if they recommend just leaving them out. But for under 30 bucks, or less than 1/3 of the OEM, I think this is a good deal. And it was on Amazon. I'll show you guys a picture of the page. You guys can search on there for, you know, batteries for your system and look for the cold cranking amps that you're looking for. There seems to be a lot of different types. Some of them don't have great reviews, so keep that in mind when you're looking at them. Some of them aren't going to be as good as other ones. These are probably all from, you know, China or Vietnam or somewhere, just like all the other batteries. I don't think there's any made in the USA batteries anymore. They're probably very expensive, but higher quality, obviously. So, guys, you know what? I'm going to say right now, I'm going to give it a couple tests and we'll see how it does, but go and get yourself one of these batteries if you want a cheap replacement for your lawnmower. I don't think they're a bad buy. Alright guys, that does it for this one. We will catch you next time. And, as always, have a good night.